Welcome back, everybody. Tournament stream is back up and running. The game is already up and running, so excited for that. This is a bit weird in terms of color, but guess we'll have to do with what we have. And yeah, just excited for another game of the tournament. Today with camera again, with mic also. Again, it might get a little bit noisy later on, but we'll see. And most importantly for today, no delay on the stream, so I can react in real time to your chat, assuming I read it, which of course I won't always be doing at all times, so there's that. But yeah, other than that, the game's already started, as you can see. We have Aztecs and Zulu on the right side here for Reb and Cheeze versus Sumeria and Celts, who look almost identical in color, from Towel+Ztatiz. So that's what we're going with for this one. Interesting map, almost the same type of map that I played for a previous game. Not sure anymore really who played on that map, but it was a really quick one. I just don't remember the exact game anymore. In any case, we're already on the way. You can see the Celts chose to walk one to get the river spot, of course. Unlucky for them, they didn't spawn in that northern location where their iron would have been closer and they had the river. So really unlucky spawn locations for the left side team here. Yeah, of course on the other side as well we have Zulu and Aztecs. Brutal early game aggression here. Really tough spot to be Celts, and especially on this type of map where the enemy's closer than your own teammate even. I guess that's all. Even the Tex might be closer than his own teammate. So while these guys figure out what they want to do in their first turn, let's count the distance between everybody. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Sumer to Aztecs. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Sumer to Celts. My god, okay, they walked quite a bit. So yeah, for Zulu to Celts, I guess it's gonna be 8 tiles as well. And then for Celts to Aztec, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, fair enough. So yeah, not the ideal start, I would say, for the left side team here. Towel+Ztatiz, who are, at least in my mind, the underdogs for this match. But so far in this tournament have gotten just round about the same types of wins as Cheeze+Rabdag in terms of who they beat, who they lost to. Pretty much just losing to Suede and Hoffman only. The only advantage for Rab and Cheeze is that they already have all their other games played. So this is the last game in this group stage. With a win here, they can secure second place for good. But if they lose, then there's a chance they get overtaken by Towel+Ztatiz. In fact, then they are surely overtaken by Towel+Ztatiz. So if they lose this one, they're already guaranteed locked out of second place. That's why they definitely want to make sure to grab a convincing win right here. We'll be looking forward to how exactly they're gonna do that. Let's also take a quick look at how many huts there are on this map. It looks like 4 huts here, just on each flank. There's 1. 4 huts on the map. Interesting. We'll see. And there we go. Game's on the way. Rabdag also finally convincing himself to end the turn, and we are good to go. Celts right here. Of course, this is definitely not the spawn you wanted if you were the Celts, right? This northern spawn would have been much nicer. I think he's got a couple more BGs, but I don't think you trade these BGs for the iron and the river. And yeah, he's just 1 turn behind from now on against 2 very aggressive early game civs. We see the double chops coming out from Team Rabdag and Cheeze. Good to see. Thanks Hoffman, by the way. The one first balance is nice. Referring to this one down here, I guess. Yeah, but the thing is, I do like this map as well. It's not my favorite one because it's a little bit far. Well, actually, no, it's one of my favorite ones. It does have its weaknesses, but every map will favor certain civs, so that's why I'm pretty fine with this one, honestly. It does favor certain type of team comp. So in this one, I think Aztecs and Zulu have a really good time because they can access the Celts really early on, whereas the Sumerians don't really have a good shot at helping their teammate. Even if the Sumerians were able to choke the Aztecs early on, the Zulus would still just really stream stuff over to the Celts, and not sure Celts are equipped to deal with such pressure. Yeah, you are true, but I think it's pretty obvious here, right? These two guys just want to get their barracks out ASAP. The two choppers, they just want the barracks ASAP, whereas the other guys, I guess they're just content going for a standard opening here. Yeah, and I just think they don't even feel comfortable chopping a barracks. They just need the units early on against Aztecs and Zulu, so that's why they might go for the traditional. But interestingly enough, you see the Celts down here. They actually are going for the chop right now. Having started off by roading here. Not sure I like that move, but at least he didn't waste any worker moves turn one. So I guess there's that. But if he wanted to chop, oh maybe he wanted to get a warrior first, and that's the way it worked out with the chop timing. I'm not sure. Maybe that was actually a correct play here to go for the road into the chop. But whatever it is, in any case, he's definitely gonna face two early game rushes with quick barracks out. Come on. With quick barracks out, so that's gonna be definitely a tough time ahead of him. Let's see where Cheeze goes with his scout, right? Because he has the option to go for the enemies early on, which I would like to see him doing, since he doesn't really need con with his teammate. They don't need to trade any crucial tax here, in my opinion. So I would like to see him just go straight to the direction of his enemies. And he anticipates those being to the western side here. So I guess he's gonna find the Celts soon, and that's then, of course, tough news for him. Maybe these couple of Enkidus that are already coming out of status are gonna make it a little bit tougher for Rabdag to get to the Celts quickly. So that's definitely a good sign for the Western team. Already having a couple of Enkidu out. And as it seems, yep, that's the first, or that's a second warrior, excuse me, for the Celts, who are now probably just chopping their barracks, getting those those veteran warriors out early as well. So far so good. Nobody really reaching enemy territory yet, but we see right here, my goodness, that's just already the veteran Jaguar here. Turn skip. I don't, that could have been, that looks pretty quick for me, yeah, so I could ask these guys if they want to reload. Let's figure these guys out how they want to go about this, by the way. Alright, doesn't seem like any of these guys definitely insist on her. Okay. Fair enough. We reload then. 3700. Alright. There we go. 3750 is the preferred reload these guys want to go for. Fair enough. Getting right back in, you know the deal. Mm-hmm. 3750 is the proposed reload. Don't have an issue with that. Is that a one? Yep, everybody join up. One last person remaining. Rabdag, come on. Get in there, my dude. Alright. We got no hurry here, I don't think. Cheeze+Rabdag. Yeah, there he goes. Back online on Steam. And in the lobby. Lounge. Alright, let's hope these turn skips don't become a bigger issue. Everybody join up, join up, join up. I wanna load game. Alright, seems everybody's cool with that. And we just launch right back in. Don't want to lose any time here. Massive Warrior spam up and then go for Settler. I agree with that. I agree with that. That does sound like a good move for him here. Okay, and we are back in it. Hoping to see no more turn skip of that sort, because, I mean, it's fair enough that people want to reload that if they get a disadvantage from it, but it's at some point it's kind of BS if it keeps happening, right? So fair enough. But for the time being, we're just gonna hope that this does not become tradition here. And there we go. First jack already out down south. Interesting. I'll have to mute real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, there we are. Right back at it. Just got a quick phone call right there to handle, but nothing major. So we're right back in it. I'm trying to end these turns just to minimize the risk of more turn skips occurring, but we see just as the turn's about to end, nice recon from me right there. We see him moving in on the Jaguar Warrior right here, and he gets those workers. Ugh, it seems like they're flip-flopping one way and the other, while Towel is trying to save them with his warrior, but is this just gonna keep going infinitely? It's not what I like to see. Huh. I guess there's just no way to break this cycle, is there? Ah, alright. He got them. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair and square. Those were never in doubt. Never in doubt, guys. Oof. Alright, so I guess he survived that first attack. Yup, disbanding that extra, of course, and I think that's fair enough. No. Is he gonna disband it or? Yeah, there we go. Alright, everything fair game. And Zulu now also, of course, getting their first impy out. Good on them. They're also now well aware of where their opponent Celts are, so Towel down here definitely in for a hard time on this one. Jaguar Warriors coming out more and more, but seems like he's, for now at least, not sending them straight down to him. Maybe trying to get something out of some Sumerian harassment there. While the Celts are now, of course, gonna brace themselves for the incoming storm. Interesting over here, Cheeze only going for the mine across the river and then walking his worker back. Maybe trying to road towards the Celts for another city plant, like right here or something like that, just to get closer to the enemy that he's eventually planning on spamming with his units. So I wouldn't hate that move, and that's an early second city right there from the Sumerians, and I don't hate this move. Honestly, he needs like 4 units to defend this effectively. I don't know. That's fair enough, I feel. It's pretty early, but again, what are the Aztecs really gonna do against him, right? With an Enkidu on each tile, not realistic that he's gonna lose that. So I don't hate it. It's good for score early, and of course, just yeah, if you can get away with the second early city, that's definitely what you want to do. You think they are building great right now? Well, that's nice to hear because this is supposed to be a top match here in Group B. Looking for that second spot in the group behind you guys. Whoever wins this gets the second spot, by the way. So, yeah, it is definitely... Oh no, I want to end the turn. I want to end the turn. Okay, don't think it skipped. Alright. But I forgot ending the turn again. So, yeah, definitely want to keep track of that just to minimize any risk. At least preventable risk. And we see over here the Jacks already not as successful against those Enkidu as one might hope if they were to play Aztecs in this one. Definitely don't want to lose track of the Zulu Impi over here. And my god, they popped. My goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. That's a rough look right there. He's already roading down there, I think. Yeah, he's already... Oh, no, he's still chopping. Never mind that. But he's already planning to road down here, I guess. And he might just plan something right there. And keep spamming stuff onto the Celts. And the good thing is the Celts haven't even found his land yet. So even if he planted like right on the spot where he is right now, the Celts couldn't even capitalize on that since they don't have any vision of his land. And yeah, he can really just do whatever here. Cheeze can. So, pretty much going from bad to worse here from the Western team, without even them having misplayed so far, I don't think, right? It's just they are on a pretty tough map for them, and they have their opponents pop, so, yeah. Oh, Cheeze dropping from Discord, that's a bit... They need a pause, they gotta tell me that, but otherwise, we'll just keep rolling with that. Yeah, Cheeze then chopping the Gran right now. I mean, fair enough, he can just super greed, I guess, but not sure if that's ideal right now. I feel like they should definitely make sure to let to not let the Celts breathe at all, if possible. But well, fair enough. If he wants that granary, he can go for the granary. I just think it's not really ideal to get that so early on as the Zulu, but maybe he just doesn't trust his teammate, right? Maybe he just thinks Rabdag's gonna die again, so nah, I don't know. I don't know really, but Zoomer, I like that move over here as we see Cheeze starting to pillage those Celt tiles. We see up here Sumeria securing that iron for the Celts, so at least they won't have to worry about that in the all too close future. And yeah, on the other side here in the northern matchup, there's really nothing going on. These guys haven't sent stuff at each other beyond those first two units that they exchanged. And loss of the game forces. Oh, you think chopping the forest under the game is a meaningful a meaningful disadvantage early on in terms of the shield that you use that you lose in the next couple of turns? I maybe it is. I'm just maybe it is. You could be right on that. I wouldn't think it makes that big an impact here, but well, maybe it does. We see just with one impy already, he's managed to pillage a tile right there. So Gran or no Gran, he's definitely while the Aztecs have swooped in there from the north. This is looking pretty tough for him. And oh my god, seems like oh yeah, Towel even lost that one warrior combat right there. Now finally gets back those workers, but you hate to see it really. At least he's getting veteran warriors out, right? So he chopped those barracks earlier, as we saw. In the end, though, doesn't lose all too much here. Just bit tough early on. At least he gets to keep his workers. So good enough for him. And again, just as I said here, Cheeze able to plant completely aggressively without needing to worry one bit. No units out from the Celts, and the Sumerians, of course, not nearby. So they can't even find out about that second city that he's just got down. But maybe they're gonna catch on to his pop pretty soon when they see his score skyrocket. Yeah. So bit tough. Then again, Celts really not having lost anything yet. It's just that they face some huge pressure, but though that pressure hasn't really come just yet, so he can still figure out a plan what he's going to do in these next couple of turns. More and more imps, of course, coming over. That's to be expected. And in terms of GA, I think only Aztecs are in GA so far, right? Or did an Enkidu get attacked? I didn't see any Enkidus fighting. Oh well, no, never mind. They actually fought over here, so he might have gotten the GA from there. So I think the Sumerians should also be in GA already. Fair enough. And yeah, definitely. Those worker flip type scenarios where two people try to get the same tile in the same turn. I've been there. Yeah, that's pretty tough. If you want to delete those workers, it just keeps bouncing and it won't let you select anything for too long. And we see Rabdag here with his couple of archers that he's gotten out. Interesting. I didn't think he was going to go for that many archers, but seems to have at least two. And getting rid of these first couple of Enkidu. Also, here we see Status walking over with a couple of small stacks here of his own. Well, just this one for now, but it is an Archer Enkidu combo, so it's going to be a bit tougher to get rid of there for Rabdag if he wants to defend himself. We'll see how he'll go about it. Whereas down south, we know exactly what's going to go on, and it's just going to be more and more yellow units on those Celtic tiles. The good news for Towel is he doesn't even have that many improvements that could be pillaged. So, you know, minimal risk, you could say, right? Minimal risk. Don't think he has got anything other than warriors so far, though. So that's a bit, you know, that's a bit tough, right? He doesn't have any archers, I don't think. And he might be going for some catapults, honestly. So that could, in the end up helping him relieving a bit of that choke, but for now he's really just sat there well, waiting for more and more imps, and that's that for him. We have these two guys on two cities already, so nobody gonna gain a big edge in terms of score just from those cities, but of course as the Sumerians had to invest 2 population for that, so it's definitely still gonna be Cheeze for the time being here, getting this score lead. And over there, you can see the comparison between Aztecs and Celts is just brutal right there. The Aztecs pretty far ahead in score, and that's pretty extraordinary considering the fact that they are not agricultural and that they are yeah, also on just one city still. So interesting right there that he's managed to pull ahead so far in score early on, which of course isn't the most meaningful thing so far. People don't really think about score just yet, but it seems like whatever combat has been tried down here didn't really result in anything. Saw a couple of units moving, but they didn't really they didn't really get anything done. And we see those archers at least have allowed Rabdag to get that second city out, and pretty safe as well, right? I mean, Status could step on that tile between roads, but Rabdag would still have time to react to that. And as we see that city plant right there in Alesia, it's getting, well, it's a bit pitiful, right? You would ideally want to plant on the river there if you're Celts, but he wants to get closer to his iron, so it feels like he has to plant away from the river, which has gotta feel terrible for him. Again, this is a random start log for him. He could have also gotten his teammate's starting location, which would have been just beautiful for him in this game, but that's how the random stuff goes, and he is definitely feeling it right now. On the other side, there are some units there on the Aztecs, but really that's nothing that's gonna make Rabdag truly worried about his position so far. And Cheeze, of course, still nobody's ever gonna touch him. Like in these next 20 turns, there's no unit that's even gonna come close to his borders. So yeah, that's ouch. Ouch, definitely. He does get the extra food here from the game, so he can more efficiently work that Iron Hill if he mines it. That's why I like a Grassland game. But of course, that's not really a thing just yet. For now, all we gotta care about is how good these Celts can hold up against the MP spam. Because if they can free themselves, then they of course become a really big threat on this map. It's a pretty big one in comparison to the last ones I've played. So there's definitely room to grow into for the Celts. They can definitely get a couple of good cities out and start getting a big army rather quickly. But in order for that to happen, they would need to get some space for themselves to grow towards. And also, of course, their GA would be required. And that's not something he's gonna get in the near future, I don't think. So for the time being, meh, it is just what it is. I'm gonna plant my second city as well. People could still theoretically pop, so I mean, I don't want to ruin that if that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll delete these settlers for the next couple of maps, but well, we'll see. We'll see. Over there, it is apparently gonna be a double move onto the road here. Rabdag defending in time, and my god, that's brutal there for Status. Rabdag, okay, he's definitely popping off right here in the chat. I respect the enthusiasm. It's competition, you know. These guys are sweating for their lives here, of course. And really, my god, he did get that perfectly. Bunch of archers just stepping right onto the tile in the moment that Status believed he could maybe, just maybe, get that tile and that pillage. And well, yeah, just that choke off. Quite unfortunate. And yeah, right now they're thinking about, wait a minute, how are these Zulus ahead in score like that? And yeah, well, it's just Cheeze, I guess. He has he knows some cheat codes or something. I don't know. He always gets it. Definitely. Rough. Just rough. Nothing really going. And the thing is, just as Hoffman said in chat right there, they didn't even play bad early on, I don't think. It's just really unfortunate setup. Unfortunate, yeah, kind of mind games going on as well there that just make Towel and Status fall behind way further than they should be right now, just because they are, yeah, I don't know, they are playing pretty good, but they are still getting fucked by this move right here, of course. And then most importantly, Cheeze popping in the 1v1 against the Celts, who are now forced to plant away from the river. So really quite unlucky early phase for them. Don't envy them at all. And that's an archer spam coming out right now from the Zulu. They feel like they got enough impies over there to threaten on the Celts, and they're gonna reinforce with archers right now, just making it incredibly tough for Towel to clear those out. He definitely need catapults if he's supposed to do that on his own, I think. I can't realistically see him kill all these units without any catapults and without assistance from his teammate, which I'm not sure there's gonna be any too soon. But one thing I haven't mentioned yet is the third city out there from Sumeria, so they're definitely leaning into that more backline role that they were dealt by the map here, while their opponents focus strongly down south towards the Celt. He is making sure to get out more cities, more score, more units, and he's now starting to stream them over onto the Aztecs. But in all honesty, these 5 archers each from both these civs might already be enough to break the Celts right here. We'll have to see how efficiently Tal's going to be able to defend this, but it is pretty rough. And yeah, Tex and Zulu definitely powerful, right? Tex still very much underused in the tournament so far. Again, I have seen them a couple of times against the Zulu actually, but both together has only been played like once or twice, I think. And this is one of those maps where they can definitely make that advantage in the early game count, as they just have so many angles to approach the opponents from, and they don't even need any res to be effective here in these first turns. So yeah, they're definitely making use of that advantage so far. Over here, again, we do have a couple of Enkidus up north coming in towards Rabdag, so he's gonna have to keep some archers at home. But these 5 are already enough to make these Celts sweat down here. Not quite sure how Tao's gonna respond. I mean, he definitely, his long-term plan is to get towards his iron, but not sure he's gonna be audacious enough to do that without clearing all these units around him out first. So yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe he's already started making a couple of catapults, right? That could be what he's going for, as his teammate is just sending everything he's got over onto the Aztecs, who don't have any sentries in the area. So there is definitely the moment of surprise on his side, as we see the Celts starting to get a couple of tiles secured. That's, my god, that's 2, I think. 2 impies gone just like that. Good start for Towel, at least, in trying to free himself from that grasp. But of course, what he doesn't know yet is that there's a good amount of archers about to reach his borders. The first couple have already come in, and that's just 5 more from each player still on the way. So even though he might be successfully starting to clear those impies that are just fortified on the grassland tiles, once these archers arrive, it's going to be definitely a whole nother beast right there. And just a couple of archers aren't going to be quite enough. He's going to have to find a way to wall these guys off efficiently, or otherwise this pressure that Status has now started to put onto the Aztecs might just not be enough anymore. These archers are already committed down towards Towel, so Rabdag can now try and take care of his northern ties. He does win that combat against the Enkidu, and that was a big one, because yeah, losing that one would have definitely felt bad right there. And by winning that combat, he now has well, kept this high food tile there all for himself. Very valuable one, and of course still 1 Enkidu less to worry about. Keltus 1 put on archers, what you're saying. And you said he should choke out all of the forest tiles. Is that so? Just to make it so Celts can't. Just to make sure that Celts can't 1 per turn archers like that. Interesting. Maybe that's right. I don't know why he's exactly standing on the grassland tiles. Yeah, I would just instinctively also probably have taken those forest tiles instead, but you know, he's chosen to get the BGs, I guess. I mean, it's still fair enough. But I see what you're saying, right? 1 per turn archer is pretty strong right there if you're Celts, especially if you expect an attack coming, which is definitely the case right now, right? These 2 archer stacks have now entered his land, and he's gonna have to throw everything behind the city walls to keep his empire safe. Let's take a quick look at the Sumerians. Are they roading any new city spots? Are they planting anything new? No. It seems like they're content with those 3 cities they got so far, and fair enough, right? They're starting to make veteran units and just running them over onto at the Aztecs, and that's definitely helping. But first of all, of course, these archers are gonna have to be defended somehow, and this road, although fortified decently, is definitely not untakeable for who is it? For both of these guys, Cheeze as well as Rabdag. We already see some fighting going on right there. These guys dropping low, and now in comes the end of turn stack attack onto the tile. Does look like Towel is holding on to it for now, so good on him for that. I don't hate it. But it seems like Alesia is in trouble right now. They are hitting that city, it seems, and Towel is starting to reinforce, but his units do look... Oh my god, this is a rough look. Entramont looking empty right now. Not sure if that's actually correct, but this Impy could just walk in if the city is in fact empty. Not sure that that's the case, but it looks like it. And back into the city he goes. Cheeze now realizing, I don't know, was that city just empty? I don't know. Don't think it matters because all his units have just been cleared out. Towel here completely stripped of any defenses that he had and about to lose one of his cities next turn. Doesn't have the road anymore. Looks like he only has that 2 HP warrior in Entramont, so yeah, that's not gonna be enough to hold up against all these units right there from the Zulu. And over here, Status throwing in the last ditch effort to try and get anything out of it. I think he just suicided his units into those cities, but doesn't seem like that's gonna be enough. Towel burning cap now as well, and there we go. Entramont taken by the Zulu. Proper early play. They picked the aggressive early combo, and they got the kill. Can't fault them for the way they played it. Just quite unlucky for their opponents, of course, with the pop, with the map setup, and everything. But yeah, this is just how it goes. Gets the pop and gets the win down here south, and I think Status is obviously just gonna GG now as well. Maybe he wants to walk that stack into the enemy territory as well, but yeah. Yeah, and that's right. I agree with the analysis of these guys. That pop definitely added just insult to injury, but don't think it really made the difference on this attack. Oops. Excuse me, that's my phone gone. Yeah, overall just well played from these guys. Again, I can't really blame Status for the way he played it. Don't think he could have done much different there. Maybe he needed some more early pressure onto the Aztecs so that the 5 archers couldn't have just simply walked at him like that. Well, yeah, maybe that's maybe that's one thing that they could have done differently, but obviously you just don't really know until afterwards how big of a threat that Aztec archer stack really was. And also quite interesting, right? Zulu and Aztecs switching off their unique units pretty early on, going for archers and stack and just capitalizing immediately. I like that, right? It's not just about choking their opponents, because they don't have any scaling carry civs on their side. They need to close it out early, and that's exactly what they did. Using that pressure, keeping the far apart allies out of contact with each other, and then just yeah, finishing it off with a well-timed 2-player archer move. I love to see that level of coordination from the guys, of course. And here up north comes the archer stack out of the Sumerians, but yeah, in no world should that be enough to get a kill out of anybody. Doesn't look realistic. And same thing down south here. That one Enkidu is probably not gonna crack Entramont. I might be wrong on this, but there we go. Just gets cleared out by those archers. Maybe he's gonna hit with that stack and GG afterwards. Fair enough on him if he wants to go through with that. But yeah, again, I liked the game plans from these two guys, right? Sumeria, Celts, fair enough game plan, but yeah, definitely. These spawns 100%. That's the same analysis I had turn 1. If they had swapped spawns, they could be really fortunate for them. But you know how it is? That's just not always how the dice fall. Yep. Better for them if these two guys are swapped. 100%. Unlucky. Let's look at that stack up north. Definitely would like to see what he decides to go with that, but I attacked Rabdag earlier. Is that so? Is that so? Come on, let me see. Are you gonna hit? Are you gonna hit? We wanna see. Is he waiting for those reinforcements? I don't know. I don't think he is. Maybe he is. We'll see. We'll see. We have another game lined up after this, by the way. So Towel+Ztatiz are gonna be playing their other match against Kelso and Rico, provided that Kelso actually has time today. We haven't gotten 100% final confirmation from him, so I can't 100% promise you. But even if that won't work out, we have another one lined up right after that. So 3 games in total today planned, and 2 of those are at least gonna happen, right? The first one here already coming to close, and then we have Towel+Ztatiz versus Kelso Rico, as well as RB Elk versus Red Bobbin Vivid. We see the stack hit right now for Samaria onto Teotihuacan, but it doesn't look like he's getting much done right here. That's the 3rd city planned from the Aztecs just for the heck of it, and more units coming to reinforce, whereas the attack has been concluded. And there we go. GG comes in. Well played from these guys. Yeah, can't complain. Nice gameplay here. Again, we're looking to have 2 more games today, so I'm gonna end the stream right here, but I'm definitely gonna ping all of you guys in the Discord and Steam. Well, in the Discord just mainly for those next games that we're planning to do once they launch. All right, thanks for joining me here, Hoff especially, lol, and hope you enjoy the next couple of games as well. Rabdag and Cheeze grab 2nd place in Group B.